Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to episode 36 of the LoofCast, I think it is.
Find out.
30 something. Because I think we just uploaded 34, and then August 15th was 35. This is 36. And I am 95% confident in that. I'm going to be wrong still.
Because the Rocket League one was 33. No,
yes.
the Rocket League one was 34.
No, that was 34. This is 30. The last one we did was 35. This one is 36.
35, so this is 36. Okay.
36 of the LoofCast. How y'all doing today? Yeah.
You can tell how organized we are.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing still. 36 episodes. God damn it. 36 episodes of this, and we still have no idea what we're doing. But today, we're here with yet another creator episode. But first, how are you doing since we recorded the last episode? Totally wasn't 48 hours ago.
You're not supposed to say that. Fuck you. I was supposed to reveal our secrets, Lucy.
Listen, man, it's what I do. I'm like the Tom Holland of this podcast. I keep saying the wrong shit.
Yeah, it's been alright. It's been a busy day. Fucking gas prices are going up again, and I don't appreciate it.
That's fair. How much is gas in your area?
Ow. It is. I paid today $3.89 today. That's the highest it's been in a while. Yeah, for us, for Florida,
okay,
that's
for you guys, it's bad. For you guys, on average, for me, it's like $4.89.
Yeah, I was about to say. I know in California, it's pretty shit as well. So
depending on the station,
for us,
$3.89 is bad. $3.49 is bad.
Our usual price is like $2.89.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
That's like a normal price.
That's fair. Nah, I feel that though.
You know.
Yeah. It's been pretty chill.
Yeah.
It's been pretty chill recently.
How have you been?
For the last 48 hours? It's been pretty chill. Actually, I mean, it's been like just a pretty good week overall. I didn't really talk about this in the last episode, but we went to see Oppenheimer for my dad's birthday.
Oh, nice.
Phenomenal fucking movie, by the way. If you guys get the chance, I highly recommend you go see it. I'm going to see Barbie soon, hopefully, as well.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Oppenheimer was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. And it really makes you fucking think as well.
But
yeah. Other than that, my dad and my sister went to a baseball game for his birthday last night as well. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah. Did you go see it in did you see it in the proper theater?
Oh, I saw it in IMAX.
Look up. Yeah. But hang on. Which IMAX? Because not every IMAX theater is the same. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, there's actually 5. Someone can correct me on this if it's wrong. I think there's 5 different versions of IMAX, and only 2 of them are the quote unquote optimized experience for Oppenheimer. Because the rest of them have to be displayed in widescreen and have to be cropped differently. Because the movie was filmed in 2 different aspect ratios and put together. It was filmed in your normal. It was filmed in your normal 16:9, but also in 4.3333 by 3.
Yeah.
And that was just to get the old analog feel of like the old televisions and stuff like that.
Yeah, for the grayscale scenes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go to a specific theater because the closest one to me is 4 hours away.
That's fair.
So
I will say
I'm just gonna see it in.
Yeah, I will say I did want to see it in a 40X for those who know what they are or what that is. There's a theater near me that has a 40X, which basically it has like a bunch of moving chairs, air blowing smoke, and all this other types of shit in the theater.
Okay,
and I just wonder 4D. What the nuke scene would have been like, just in that theater.
It's just
chair knocks you back. Fucking they actually bomb your theater.
Blow up.
Yeah, they just bomb your theater. That'd be really funny though.
Yeah, but it does look like an amazing film. I was blown away whenever they told me, hey, yeah, what if we told you that explosion is real?
That's
I'm
what
like,
terrified me.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
I, because I actually saw it in the film, and I'm like thinking, and I'm just like, I can't genuinely believe that they just thought, fuck it, and decided to actually blow something like that up.
Yeah. Now, to clear up the air, it
It's
isn't
not a
an
real nuke.
actual nuke.
It's
It's
it was
not a
about
real
it
nuke
was
because
TNT.
that's illegal. You can't just blow up a nuke for a movie. Even Christopher Nolan doesn't have that power.
Well, to be fair, you also just can't like outright purchase a nuke. Like that's just not legal.
Exactly.
Like if you tried it, you'd be put on a government watch list and probably killed.
Well, I'm pretty sure he probably he won't say it out loud. He probably tried.
No, there was an interview he did. I remember seeing a quote from him in a news article, and he said he was actually kind of freaked out that fans thought he would legitimately detonate a nuke for a film.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like the
That's
TNT
fair.
doesn't shock me, but like he said he was like actually concerned that people thought he would really detonate a nuke for a film, and I was like, okay, I can get behind that.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But hey, man, you, I don't know. Christopher Nolan has done some crazy shit, bro. It wouldn't really surprise me.
I was gonna say, like, I love the guy so much. He's an amazing director, but he
Mhm.
definitely is a little unhinged with some of the shit. He's like so against CGI that man was just said, "Fuck it, get as much TNT as you can to the desert."
Boom.
Literally, I love him. I love him to death. But like, I just love how unhinged he can get sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Now, just to kind of get into a tiny side tangent, would you
Yes.
be okay? Would you be okay if a movie bought a nuke for the artistic value
No.
and set it off in the middle of the desert?
Okay, actually, let me correct this here. I would be okay with it if, and I mean if only, they could somehow find a way to make radiation a non-issue.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care about the size of the bomb, really. I'm just like, you know what? If you want to blow up a nuke for a fucking movie, go for it. If they could make radiation a non-issue, I would have said, yeah, fuck it, dude. Just do it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah, I'm not saying that let's give someone a fucking SAR bomb and blow up half
here's
a
the
state.
largest
like,
bomb ever. Blow up New Mexico, why don't you?
Yeah, like that's not what I'm saying.
Go to
like,
the actual Los Alamos site and do it.
Yeah, like the smallest nuke possible, right?
Yeah.
I would be okay. I would be okay with it.
I mean, like, the smallest,
again,
the smallest nuke they have would be the original one they detonated back then. So it's like,
yeah.
I feel like if
the
they
big
could do
boy
that and
and
make
the fat
non-radiation,
man.
yeah, I was gonna say if they could do it and make radiation a non-issue, like I would say fucking go for it. To be honest, like
Mhm.
I know I sound a little kind of unhinged saying that cat's walking through a wall.
Yeah, this cat needs to chill out, bro.
Yeah, but for context, everyone, all the audio listeners, we have AI cats walking around the room right now, and it's just entertaining to watch them. But let me clarify why I say I'd be okay with like them detonating an actual nuke. Like, number one, I'm not a big fan of CGI just by nature. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not totally against it. Like, I'm not Christopher Nolan levels of, hey, fuck CGI, use real everything. But like, I appreciate when there's not CGI where there doesn't have to be. So, for example, like, if a movie has like scenes in space and shit, obviously it's going to be CGI. Like, they're not going to send an untrained like crew of actors up with NASA.
Okay. We can't say that too quickly, okay? We did that. I know that's coming eventually.
Eventually, but I'm talking about like nowadays.
Yeah, for now, yes, right?
Commercial space flight happens, they're gonna do it all willy-nilly. They don't
give
care.
it 20 years? I don't know, man.
They're gonna be filming shit on an actual space station. But yeah. Like I'm talking like in the present day, like nobody's gonna like put a crew of actors on a spaceship and say, fuck it, we're gonna send you up to the ISS to film a movie. Like nobody's gonna do that.
We did send well, they paid for it, but like,
Yeah.
we did send 5 billionaires down to the Titanic, and we all know how that went.
Yeah. But I mean, like, they're not just gonna do that for a film, like, out of nowhere. Is my point here. So it's like, I can understand why CGI needs to be a thing. Like, you know, for example, take, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, you know, that shit doesn't exist that we know of. So
Yeah,
they
no,
obviously
we
need
can't
to do
that.
stuff like that. But like, you know, where
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be CGI, that's what I appreciate. Like, I love practical effects because it's just, it looks so much more real to me, I guess. Like with CGI,
Yeah.
even if they do the most realistic ones looking possible, it generally there's a few small giveaways that it's CGI.
Yeah, of
Like,
course, and
it's
that's
one.
why I think I think that's why I think it's so funny that people who think that the moon landing is fake, right?
Yeah,
And is
like
filmed in a
they're like,
studio.
oh, this was filmed in a studio. I'm like, dude, if you
All
can
the
tell
things that
well, hold on. If you in 2023 can still tell that CGI is CGI, you think they faked that shit in 1969? No.
and also like one of the biggest things that people point out is there's no stars in the sky, right? In the background of any of the shots, right?
I wonder fucking why.
Yeah, but if NASA faked the damn thing, you think they would have known? They would have been like, yeah, if we are gonna fake this, we have to put stars in the sky.
Well, it's
So
also
if
that.
it was fake, there would have been stars in the sky.
Absolutely, but it's also
Because
that, and it's also the fact that they realized that the cameras we had back then were the equivalent of a fucking potato. Like,
well, yeah, that wasn't even the issue though.
no, it wasn't.
We could have captured it, but the reason why you see no stars in those videos and stuff like that is because if they had it on the camera on a normal aperture, the sunlight coming from the sun reflecting onto the moon would make it completely blind. You would not be able to see
You wouldn't see shit.
anything. It would just be straight white. So they had to lower the aperture on the camera so that they could capture it normally. Therefore, the exposure of the light from those stars could not reach the camera.
Yeah, but also
It
on
just
top
didn't
of that
have
as
enough
well,
time.
like on top of that as well, my other like hilarious like kind of just thing about the moon landing being faked is like people are always like, oh, it was definitely faked, and I'm like, are you telling me they spent however much money to build an actual rocket ship and then just shot it into space for no reason?
Yeah, like
That's the biggest waste of money ever.
The people on the beach that literally watched the Apollo 11 go up, right? Those people aren't real. Those are actors.
You think everybody on like you think everybody in their homes watching that shit launch too? Just like they just fucking they spent what? Probably in today's money, probably a couple $100 million or even like close to $1 billion.
No, it's in the billions.
I was gonna say
it's in the billions for sure.
Yeah, you think they spent a couple $1 billion to just fucking shoot a capsule into space and just say,
like, no,
yeah, we faked it. No.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's
another
not...
thing they point out is like the flag is standing up and there's like, oh, there's no wind in space. The flag should be thing. Yet no shit, Sherlock. That's why NASA made a flag that would stand up on its own.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the astronaut would have to stand there and hold it if they want the good,
the
picture
good
of
shot.
America on, the moon.
Yeah, and not to mention, the flag is still there.
It's still there. You can look at it right now on satellite images. Go on Google Earth. It's right there. I assure you.
Like, you can literally still see the landing site.
Yep. And then they're like, oh, then why haven't we gone back to the moon?
Why the fuck do we need to?
Know.
We know what's on the moon. It's the moon.
A, and B, it's kind of fucking expensive. And C, a long time ago when you remember the Challenger disaster, right?
Yeah, we blew up.
Yeah, we kind of fucking blew up. So after that, the government went, maybe we should stop spending money on space, which I think was a very stupid idea.
It's a stupid idea, but it's also like, I think the choice should have been, hey, maybe we should work on perfecting some of this stuff rather than just willy-nilly send another crew up and blow them up 10,000 feet up.
Exactly. That's why I'm very glad we're going back.
Yeah, well, that's my other thing is, like, I just don't think people realize, like, people just say it's fake, but I don't think people realize just how dangerous it all is. Like, if there's a small crack in the ship when they get out of the atmosphere, that ship's gonna blow up. Like they're dead.
Like that is a 3-day trip just to get there. Then you have to land and then get into the correct orbit for the moon to slingshot you back another 3 days back
with gravity wells.
Like,
and then on top of that, you also have to make sure that you don't mistakenly hit anything wrong because because the amount of space junk in our atmosphere as well, something taps that ship. For all they know, they're going to die.
Yeah, it's happened to the ISS before.
I know, if something flies fast enough, that shit is fucked.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think we have to go to the ISS so much to do repairs? It's because there's a bunch of shit flying by
that's constantly dinging it.
Yeah, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah. But on to the topic of today's episode. I just completely blanked on the sentence I was about to say. Regardless,
you got this.
On to the topic of today's episode. We're going to talk about starting out as a creator and, finding a niche. And since there was already a bit of confusion between me and Oof about this, what I mean when I say finding a niche is not like finding a game or anything. It's like finding a brand for yourself. Like, why, like, what do you want to represent you as your time as a creator?
Yeah, I was a little confused because, hang on.
Niche can mean a few different things.
Excuse me. But yeah, niche can mean a few different things. So I was a little confused and thought, oh, like back when Fortnite came out, right? A lot of people's niche was, oh, I'm going to play Fortnite and only Fortnite.
Like
right?
basically having a set game.
That's what they either enjoy doing or that's what gets views.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
But yeah, when I say niche, I mean basically like finding a brand, like a staple for yourself. So to give an example of that, like, my internet persona, Lucifer. So that's kind of my brand niche. I'm the fallen angel.
Yeah, I don't see. And the thing is, another thing we want to get into as well is you don't also have to have a niche. Either.
You don't.
It's not really required. Like me personally, I don't really have one. Like I kind of do because my name is Oof. It's like, I mean, I have a Roblox character, but I don't use that as like my profile picture or anything. It's my own thing, right?
Yeah.
It's
well, so I can explain that a bit more in
for a while.
depth too. Yeah, I guess like to explain it in depth as well, like how you can do it is like, it's not so much as a niche. Like everybody has a username, obviously, but like I have a character behind mine where it's like you kind of just have like the Oof thing. If that makes sense. Yeah. So it's less kind of like, I'm more like I have like more behind the username, whereas some people just have their username. And that's kind of like who they are, sort of thing.
Yeah, you're more centralized. I don't really give a fuck.
I'm just here, bro. I'm here for the ride.
I'm literally just here.
No, that's fair. But let's roll into starting out at first, because you generally, and this is like my own personal advice here, you generally don't want to pick like a specific branding before you go into being a creator. Because I did that, and I had to change my name a year and a half into content creation because I realized I hated the brand that I was under. And I will go into that story later on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me starting out, I don't even know why I picked the name Oof. I guess
I was gonna say, 'cause what was your original name before I met you?
Well, okay. My original ID was on PlayStation Network.
Oh,
all right, and it was it was Minecraft NJU, and I've told this story before.
Yes, you have.
The reason why, to give you the short version, I wanted to be Minecraft Ninja, and
it was taken.
Obviously taken. So I just took a couple letters off and added a U.
Honestly,
so I was known as either Minecraft or Ninja.
Honestly, it's how you got to do it. Like, yeah. I mean, because like I'll go really quickly through my story. Basically, I started out originally making content under a different name back in 2012. So this is about 11 years ago now. It was specifically like just Minecraft stuff. I'm not gonna say the name because the channel is still up, and I am terrified of somebody finding it. Um, but
Fair.
it was a really shitty name. It was like, what's the best way I can say it without like going into it?
It's like one that you would get in an Xbox generation,
No,
right?
honestly, no, that's exactly
Random
what it
name
was. It was
generation,
like
right?
basically to put it, it was one of those names where it was like Psycho Gamer 15. It wasn't actually that one, but it was similar to that, and
Something
that's
like that,
basically what it
right?
was. And I did that
Sorry to
for
call
about. Mhm.
sorry to call you out if your name is Psycho Gaming or Gamer 15. It's we're not saying it's a bad name. We're just picking at random
Bad
here.
for us. Is a better word for it. But yeah, I did
Yeah.
content under that for about 2 years from 2012 to 2014, and then I stopped. And in 2015, I met another internet friend, or well, one of my first internet friends actually. And at this time, I had since changed my name. My original name was the childhood dog that I'd grown up with, and it was so I was on the internet as Dakota, and that was my childhood dog that I grew up with. So
Hmm.
I had my dog's name, my lucky number, and that was my username on the internet for a while. And then in early 2015, I switched that name over to on Minecraft, at least 'cause that's what I primarily played back then. On Minecraft, I switched that name over to underscore the underscore Slayer underscore. And yes, that was my actual username. Um,
Yeah.
Now, obviously, cringe, but I was 14. What do you want from me? Um,
Yeah. Exactly.
I was 14. Every gamer out there, unless they started in their later teens, has a cringy fucking username that they used to work with. And
Mhm.
mine was Slayer. Real quick, I want to
Now continue.
apologize. Oh, yeah. Real quick, I want to apologize. If you guys heard any vibrations, my phone was resting on my mic. That's my own fault. Um,
Yeah, I just wanted to fix that real quick. We're all good.
yeah. But going back into it, where was I? Right, Slayer. That was my
There.
that was my kind of embarrassing nickname for a while. So I met my first internet friend in 2015, and then I just started getting called Slayer. That was kind of like, just what people took out of my name. And I never thought to change it. So in 2015, I made my second YouTube channel ever, which is the current one I'm on, and I started making videos. So a lot of the older ones have since been taken down, but I was Slayer versus Gaming on the internet from 2015 all the way till 2019. And the reason I only said I had Slayer versus
Yeah.
Gaming, yeah, the reason I only say I had Slayer, like the Slayer name from 2018 to 2019, was because I uploaded very periodically through like the 2015 to 2018. But in 2018 is when I started streaming. That's when I got on Twitch. And I got on Twitch under the username Slayer versus Games because Slayer versus Gaming obviously taken and overused to shit.
Right.
And then about a year and a half later, there was a joke going on my Discord at the time where I just had my name as Lucifer just for the fucking memes. And I ended up just saying, like, one day I was midstream and I said, fuck it, I want to change my name. What do I want to change it to? And I looked at my Discord and I thought, you know what? I'm going to stick with Lucifer Persona. We're going to go there. And
Yeah.
I switched my name. Obviously, Lucifer is going to be taken because a lot of people know about it. So I did LuciKOH as a combination of the full thing of being Lucifer, King of Hell. So KOH stands for King of Hell, and Lucy is short for Lucifer.
Mm.
And that's kind of how I got to this point. That's kind of why I am who I am now, and that's been my brand for the last 4 years of my life. But
Yeah. You want to know something fucked up about my username
oh no,
right now?
oh
So
no.
like, to kind of go through the history of mine real quick. I was once I had Minecraft NJU, I realized it's got to be something else, man.
You're gonna
It
have
just
way
got to
too many
be.
people
We
with the
had
name
to change things.
Minecraft.
Yeah, and not only that, I didn't really play Minecraft too much at the time anymore. I was moving more into things like I was playing COD. I would play
Yeah.
GTA a lot. So I don't. Again, I really don't know what went through my head of creating the Oof brand. I guess
It was pretty popular at the
you know.
time. Like
Actually,
the oof thing was pretty
actually,
popular at the
you know
time.
what? You know what? I know why. I remember why.
Why?
Because I was very shit, and I still pretty much am. Very shit at games, right? So a lot of the time, my friends around me would say "oof" after I fucking choke. like around or something like that, right? So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna change the name. And my first
We're hard leaning into the
username,
brand here.
yeah, my first username on that brand was but also Oof.
Yes.
Uh, which then got changed to did I mention Oof? Which
Yes.
some of
That
my
was the,
accounts are
I was gonna say that
still
was still the big one, like the did I mention oof?
yeah, that is actually technically still being used at the moment. I'm not on my Twitch or TikTok or whatever now. But then I was like, let's make it a little bit more serious, right? And I wanted to change it to what it is today. This is Zoof, right?
Yes.
Now, here's the fucked up part about it is no one on Twitch right now has that username of This Is Oof. You can't find it. If you look up, if you type This Is Oof into the search bar, you will get nothing. Right?
Yep.
But guess what? I have asked Twitch on probably 3 or 4 separate occasions. Hey, that username has been dead for actual years. Can I please have it? No response every time.
Yep, that sounds about right. Twitch has
The
done that to me
closest
where
thi-
I have asked them stuff and they have just not answered my questions or just didn't respond to me.
Yeah, the closest thing that is close to that is there's someone on Twitter named This Is Oofer. That's the closest thing, and it still won't let me have it. So that's why my name has a 0 in it, and on Minecraft it has an L instead
Yep.
of an I in the middle.
Yep.
Because again, it just wasn't there, but still a dead user. I just really wish. Come on, Twitch. It's been how long now? I've been streaming since what 2018. Just give me the fucking username, please.
Honestly, yeah. Like people they really need to start recycling usernames like overall because there's a lot of sites out there where they just don't give usernames back after people delete accounts and so forth and it's just like why?
Yeah. Now, what I don't agree with, I just punched my microphone. Sorry. Now, oh no,
Is the mic falling?
oh no. You could probably hear me a lot better now. The mic has been
Yes.
faced the wrong way for this whole recording. Great.
It's all
Anyways,
good.
um, now what I don't agree with is what Ubisoft is doing with their.
Oh,
They have a new
deleting
policy.
accounts.
Yeah, so they've started deleting inactive accounts.
Yep.
Now this would be okay if they just deleted account and you can reclaim it once you log back in, um, years later. But here's the thing: your account gets deleted by them. You have 30 days to claim that account again, or everything that you have purchased on that account is gone.
Yep.
Everything. All your games that you've probably spent hundreds of dollars on, all the, buying Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, gone.
Yep.
And I 100% do not agree with that. I understand trying to get rid of old accounts because it just, at the end of the day, it just takes up server space. And as someone who's worked in IT before, I can understand that. But at the same time, completely deleting their account with all of their keys in it is a bit ridiculous.
Oh no, it absolutely is ridiculous. Like I actually posted something about it a while back. I saw a tweet about it. Let me actually see if I could find it real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Because they were sorry, just give me one sec.
No.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, there was a guy named Horizon. Oh no, sorry, this wasn't about Ubisoft. This is about Discord. But it still kind of matches up the same. Like, this person had basically posted and said, Discord's deleting active accounts. All the message logs from a friend who passed away will cease to exist. Along with the countless inactive friends I have that simply don't use Discord often. And I said, and I agreed with them. I popped in. I was like, yeah, no, he's right. I've got a friend no longer with me, and I'd hate to lose what little I have left of them because Discord decided to delete old accounts. And the same.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't, but the same thing goes for for Ubisoft and so forth. Like there are there have been on occasion like little replays that have been saved, like for example in a racing games and stuff. And say
Yeah.
you had one of those under Ubisoft, and all of a sudden that was gone one day because Ubisoft just trashed your account because you didn't log in for 30 days, and it was just
matter
like,
of
well,
fact.
well, yeah, but no, it's that, but it's also just like, well, they did that, and I mean, I have had countless friends that are unfortunately no longer with me, and I would absolutely hate to lose what little I have left of them because of the fact that
Yeah.
Ubisoft or a different social media platform or different game platform just decided to wipe their account out one day.
Matter of fact, now that I think about it, my old Ubisoft account is gone.
Yeah,
I had a
I had an
Ubisoft
old one
account
too.
back
It's
when.
gone.
Yeah,
I reached out to
I had
Ubisoft. I
one.
mentioned this in the last podcast, but I reached out to Ubisoft finally, and they just were not helpful at all.
Of course they weren't. It's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do we fucking expect here? Well,
Either way.
that's gonna be that's definitely probably gonna be the next episode of the.
Oh yeah.
I got things to say about Ubisoft, but
back on track.
I had a. Oh.
Or yeah, go on.
Go ahead. I had an old Ubisoft account back on PlayStation 4. When I would play, I used to play Trials Fusion all the time. The bike racing platformer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
But either way, back on track real quick. Starting out as a creator. So one thing, like, I guess one way to start as a describer here is, I would say it really depends on like what type of content you're interested in making as a starter. You'd agree?
For sure.
Yeah, like, and what I mean by what type of content is, I don't mean like, games, like IRL content or whatnot. I'm talking about like streaming versus video content, because they are wildly different. Or even like shorts,
Right.
like for things like on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, like, if you're primarily on those platforms, like you want to make sure that you know what type of content you want to go into and why. Because like there are definitely countless creators out there that are on one platform when their types of videos would definitely be more fit for another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
100%.
I think step one in that is pretty much figuring out what like the best starting point is for you. Like, do you want to stream? Do you want to make videos, or do you want to make shorts?
Mhm.
And sometimes
Now, I have a question for you.
Hang on one sec. Sometimes it's multiple, and that's okay. Like, you can also do multiple at the same time. What's the question?
What do you think, like, just in your opinion, what do you think is like the best way to
starting?
start out out of like video, shorts, and streaming nowadays, of course, right?
I'm gonna
Because
say
things have definitely changed over the years.
they have, and I'm gonna say it depends on what your goal is. And let me explain what I mean by that. Number one, shorts, an amazing way to grow, but starting out, stupid idea. If you were in it for the numbers, you're in it for the wrong reasons. But that being said, as you start out, as you like get a bit into content creation, utilize shorts in the early era because they will help you grow so much. But
They will.
I will say it really depends. If you want to focus more on like quality, I guess, start with video. If you want to focus more on like quantity, but you don't have to do as much editing work and stuff like that, start with streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
And that's not to say that streams aren't quality. There are plenty out there where like, the streamers put in a lot of hard work. I'm talking at at the base beginning, like your first video, your first stream, your first piece of content on the internet, at like under your current brand, I should say. And I will say, like, if you want to go quality, hit YouTube first. Like, hit any video making platform first, and that's what you should start out with if you want to hit quality. If you want to hit streams, you're going to be going quantity over quality for the first little bit while you feel your way through streaming and figure out how it will work for you. So it's quality and quantity. Both will come in like the same kind of like thing. Like, there's not going to be a lot of YouTube videos if you want to do like quality, but there's like, take for example, Mr. Beast is a good example here. Like, he doesn't release like videos daily, but all of his videos are really high quality.
Bangers.
Yes. But like, and then there's other people who have less quality of videos, but they have more quantity. Like, they upload every day. And then there's good middle ground where people upload 2 to 3 times a week, and their videos are pretty good quality. So it really just depends on how much you want to do with video there. And with streaming, it's the same thing. Obviously, you're going to have that quantity thing going continuously. You are going to have to stream multiple times a week if you want to keep that stuff up going.
For sure.
And you want to be
That's, I think,
transparent with your community. And I will say, regardless of what you decide, have some sort of community space where like you can like inform your like community, like a Discord or something else similar.
Yeah. Which I think, in all honesty, there really isn't. There's no platform that is better for putting a community and stuff like that.
And we're back. Sorry about that. Had a brief intermission. Where were we?
Yep, that was my bad. Great question. Well, I think we were talking about we were talking about first starting out. We were talking about the differences between streaming.
Oh, we just finished up with like the
videos and stuff
opinion
like that.
between like which
Right.
Yeah.
My control. You know what? Fuck it. My hands are gonna be frozen for the rest of the.
your controllers died,
thing.
didn't you?
No, they just. I think I walked away from my headset too far, so they're just gone now.
Well,
that's nice.
they're frozen to like the best place too. It's just like they're just like almost grabbed together.
Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, here I guess I'll say my opinion on it. I guess.
Yes.
So me personally, I think that again, like you said, it depends on what you want to do, but I think it also depends on your current situation in life, right? If you
That's true.
right, like if you have 2 jobs and you don't have a lot of time to make content, but you still want to do, I'd highly recommend streaming.
Yes,
Because
it
streaming
takes less of your time.
Exactly. All you got to do, hit the live button, go live for an hour or two, whenever whenever you can, right? I just think the thing that you can do the best with starting out with, and that I unfortunately lacked in, towards the, I would say, mid 2019 end of 2019, is consistency. You
Yes.
gotta stay consistent. If you don't stay consistent with your audience, they'll disappear. They will just find someone else.
Yes, I will say it is a ruthless game, and like just any content creation doesn't have to be like only streaming. It's like videos and everything like that. If you're not consistent, if you're not keeping up, they will eventually they will get bored. People will leave. They will go elsewhere.
God damn it! I knew this was gonna happen. Yeah, I knew this was gonna fucking happen.
I'll tell them.
Colin,
middle
get
of
the
a
fuck
podcast.
out.
Middle of a podcast.
Get.
Hey, man.
Anyways, you know what? We'll leave that. You know what? We're leaving this in. We're leaving this in. I'm calling him out. That was my friend Colin. We accidentally. I should have told you to set it to invite.
I thought friend instances were only to the friend of the host.
No, you have to hit friends plus. That is what that means.
I thought friends plus was friends and then plus like other people's friends. Am I stupid?
It's the other way around. Yeah.
I've been doing that wrong.
Yeah.
I've been doing that wrong the whole 3 years we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna call him out. That was my friend Colin. He just randomly joined my world. I saw him online earlier.
Yeah, I saw like the join your instance, and I looked over there, and he's loading in the doorway, and I'm like, oh god damn it!
I know. I'm like, fuck. But anyways, consistency.
Yes.
Just to give you guys an example, right? In my first, I've said this before. I was very lucky. When I first started streaming, because I met people like Lucii.
Yes.
And was part of a community where smaller streamers were very much helped, right?
Yes.
Like a lot. So I got affiliate within a month a month and a
Yes.
half, something like that, right?
And I will say, if you know how to market
Um,
yourself right, you can even do that without all of that. Like I got affiliate in I
100%.
believe 4 months, and I didn't have help from other streamers because I didn't know anybody at the time.
Mhm,
It was just me and like friends I'd known for a while. So I got affiliate in like just about 4 or 5 months.
mhm.
And it was just I just did it because like I was just new to the thing. That's how it went. So it's not saying like
Yeah,
you absolutely need help, but I mean it can be nice. Like growing together is
networking.
better than not growing.
Exactly. Networking is one of the most important things that you can do as a content creator, right?
I would argue that it's
And
like the most important, to be honest.
yeah,
Like you can put
exactly.
out as
Yeah.
much like top tier content as you want, but you're gonna get nowhere if you don't network with other people in the same field as you. And that's the same
Yeah.
for like normal jobs too. Like anybody, if you ever work a normal job, like everyone will always tell you, like network with other people in your field. Can help you get to higher opportunities. They are right, and it's the
A
same with
hundred,
content creation.
100%. And so unfortunately, I was consistent for about, I'll say, 5 to 6 months after that. But then I took a 2 month break where I
Yep.
just stopped streaming. I wasn't making any content, no videos, nothing. I stopped talking in my own Discord. Um, and lo and behold, guess what? Everything went, everything just went flat.
Yep.
And and I'm not saying, like, I'm not being like, oh, everyone that left me is a fucking bitch and I hate him. No, it's not what I'm
It's how
saying.
it goes.
It's just how the market
Like
works, right?
even larger creators have reported the same thing. I don't remember which one this was, but I remember seeing a post from a creator at one point. And it was basically them saying is like, yeah, people can go on like a month vacation from like their workplace and not have to worry about their job being there when they get back. But a creator does. Like a creator can go on a month-long
Exactly.
vacation, and when they get back, they have to be seriously worried that that their community is still there. They have to be seriously worried that their job can still support them. Because if the community just
Unless
up and
it,
decides that they're gone, it's like shit. Like you're
yeah,
fucked at that point. There's nothing you can do.
yeah. Now again, if you have to take a break for mental health or problems in the real life, that is completely fine. There's
Yes, we're not
nothing
saying to
wrong with
not
that.
do that. Like
Exactly.
I
We're
will
just
say,
saying. Go
or
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you finish thought and then I'll go on because it links into it.
Okay, I was about to say, I will say, um, most of the times that I've taken breaks in streaming, and most of the reason I haven't been too consistent with it until, well, recently, is because of mental health. Right, I had over the last couple of years, I've had some shit go down,
Yes,
essentially. So shit happens,
yes,
and that's completely understandable. But we just want to lay out the foundation of what we think would, would we think would happen, right?
yes. And I do want to state that like you should never get mad at your community for packing up and leaving if like you're gone. All right,
One
like
hundred
that's
percent.
only going to make more of them leave. It is just how
Mhm,
content creation goes and how communities work. But I want to state
mhm,
something else. If you are having a mental health thing or any other reason that you might be gone for like a little bit of a period of time, communicate that. Like don't just up and
mhm.
disappear. If you can do it, communicate that. Like
Yep.
I have done this
That's
before.
yep.
February of I believe 2020. Yeah, February of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I was having some severe problems with some old friends of mine. I'm not going to go into detail, but they had issues with me, and I ended up kind of getting stabbed in the back. But there's no bad blood at this point. I'm over it.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was pretty wrecked. Like it was a close group of friends that I used to have, and then I was just like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'm sick of it. And in February, I just borderline said I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I need to take a month break. I can't.
Mhm.
Um, and at the time, 2019, 2018, those were pretty big years of content for me. I'd grown like 600 followers in about 2 years. Which, I
Mhm.
obviously to a lot of creators, that doesn't seem like much, not even close. But, as a small creator, it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Um, and since then, I've grown about 300 in the past 2 years, or past 3 years, I should say,
Yeah.
sorry. And that's
Woo.
because I took that month off. Despite communicating that to my community, there were quite a few people who kind of just did not come back when I returned. And again,
Yeah.
there's nothing against them, but like it goes to state that like, you know, even if you communicate to your community that you were going to be gone, there is no guarantee they're going to stick around, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But it's just how it goes.
Yeah. Like the same thing that actually the same thing happened to me. When in my first year, I'll say, of streaming, I was at 250 followers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that's kind of where it kind of plateaued at, right?
Yeah.
And I have gained I think I'm at 289 now, so I have gained what 40 followers in the last 2 years, 3 years,
No,
right?
it's how it goes. Like
It is what it is.
yeah,
Right?
like I hit 500-600 in the first year and a half of my streaming. I started early 2018, and then by the end of 2019, I was at around 600. And that was 20, like right before 2020 when I took my hiatus, I was at around 600. And since then, I am now at around 930 something, I think. And you know, it's not a whole lot. Like that's, I believe, almost a 300% loss in growth. If I could be correct. Like again, not in it for the numbers. I could care less, but it's just it goes to show is like, you know, taking breaks, like it does hurt and it will hurt, but it's like, you know, you just kind of have to keep going.
At the end of the day, it's really honestly all about how you
Respond to
handle
it.
the situation, right?
Yeah.
And how you respond back.
Like
right? If you respond back with a mean attitude towards the people who left, your community will never grow again.
no, absolutely not.
Period.
People like again, word of mouth is like the biggest part of this thing. Like there are there are creators, and we'll go into this later in another episode, but like creators who have had like controversies and stuff like that, like even if it's like nothing bad and they just have like a big blowout fight on the internet with another creator, those creators then find it significantly harder to grow because word of mouth. Both of those creators' communities will start bad mouthing the other creator. Whether or not that creator wants it to happen, they're gonna do it. Why? Because again, at the end of the day, that creator, while they have a modicum of control over the community, they can't control the entire community. Like they can't stop them. So then word of mouth spreads. You know, people are gonna say, "Oh, this creator sucks," and then other people in the other community are gonna say, "Oh, this creator sucks too." And you know that both of those creators are suddenly going to find it significantly harder to grow because now they are just shot in the dark, and it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do from there?
True.
And yeah, like it just goes to show, like starting out as a creator, it's not any less, it's not any more important than like your entire career as a creator, like overall. Like, you know, you're going to have to worry about this stuff every day, whether you're a small or a large creator. You're constantly going to have to think about like analytics, how are you going to get your content out there? What are you going to do for it? And like, where's it going to go from there? And that's like mostly just kind of like the basics of starting out as a creator. Like, you know, like figure out what you want to do for content, like start experimenting a little bit. Be careful of like, you know, how you treat your community, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who make your job. And it's just how it goes. But you know, I guess
here's my number one rule with that though.
Yes.
Make sure you are having fun with what you are doing.
Like again, this isn't supposed to be a job where you're miserable.
Correct. Do not be a slave to your community. I have seen that countless and countless times with even bigger creators.
Yes. Like I will say, like, yes, you can do things that the community wants occasionally, but don't fucking throw yourself into uncomfortable spots just because people want to see it. Like, I'm going to tell you this. Like, the communities, like, people who watch streams and stuff like that, 90% of them are, like, sadistic. They like seeing the streamers kind of, like, you know, throw a little bit of torture in there to themselves, which is why you see so many of these random internet challenges and so forth. And it's because people like seeing that. But don't, like, again, don't put your health over. Don't put your fucking mental health. Do not throw yourself into a position you do not want to be in. You can do stuff occasionally, but don't overdo it.
Correct. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess jumping into niches now. God, I can't speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going on into it, I guess, with it. Like, as we stated earlier, you can have one, but you don't have to. It really depends. So, for example, a lot of VTubers have a niche. And it's because, like, you know, they build a character, they build, like, you know, their lore for it, and they do a bunch of that. And that's basically their niche. And there's a few out there that I could, like, name right off the bat right now that I actually know the names of.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah, one's Shy Lily, for example, the Orca VTuber, for those who don't know
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's
Lily
her,
is great.
there's oh yeah, like there's her, there's
Got
two
Iron.
others that I've been seeing recently, which is like Megalodon VTuber, and then another
Yeah.
Mystic Light, I think it is. I think it's Mystic Light. It's like a Kitsune
Mhm.
VTuber, and
Yeah.
that's
So you
their
have
niche.
like
That's their character.
yeah, like the major. Well, let's talk about the even broader. The major organizations of VTubers. You have
Oh,
like
that's true as well.
Vishojo. We have Vishojo who is, I believe, someone can correct me again if they're wrong. It's Vey. People like Vey, Iron Mouse. I think Shy Lily is part of that.
Something like that. I
And
think I've heard her
there's a
mention it
couple
before.
other
I think.
creators, right? Then there's Hollow Live, who has two different versions of themselves: the Japanese one, and the English one. With the English one has people like Gura or Kali. But yeah, they all have their certain thing that they go for. Like
They have their niche.
is Kali is a demon. I believe she's the queen of demons or something like that, right? Something
Like
along those lines. And
like everyone's got their
Gura
thing.
Gura is a shark, right? Like
Yes.
you
Like
know.
everyone's got their kind of thing. And it's like, having a niche can be good. It can help you grow a lot. And it really just depends. Like, you can heavily lean into it, you can kind of like half lean into it, or you can just kind of like have it be its own thing and leave it there. Like I'm kind of on the side where I like semi lean into mine. Like I'll make Satan jokes on stream. Like, there's a pretty common one where it was like, oh, a common one that I make is like, oh yeah, well, everything's fine until you get thrown out of the sky by your father. Like
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Or
And there
like
was another thing
or
in
like
Apex where I killed a guy named God, and I just like started was like, I killed God, yeah. It was great.
yeah, I was about to say, or like the lore books in what's his name? Your Minecraft server, your
Oh
SMP.
yeah, like I made lore books and stuff like that. Like I like on like games that I play where it's like free building. I'll tend to like make some sort of like Lucifer storyline, just because I can, and it's pretty fun. But like it all really depends.
Mhm.
Overall, like you don't have to have a niche. So like I'm gonna run through really quick like what the benefits of like having a niche versus not having one are. Because there's benefits on both sides, and there's cons to it on both sides. Like benefits number one, you get to kind of create this own kind of character on the internet for yourself, and there's a lot of people out there who like lore, who like who like storylines, and they like seeing like this kind of built thing. So it
Mhm.
obviously will attract a lot of the people who like seeing the story unfold, who like this character, this persona, if you will. um and then also there's just people out there who really like kind of interacting with somebody who they know is not like a direct real persona, I guess. So for VTubers, for example, like a lot of these people interact with, like, for example, Shy Lily, Mystic Light, Megalodon. I can't remember. I think she just goes by Mega, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But like, for example, those three, like, people interact with their personas a lot. And I mean, well, yes, there is like there is some of their real personality in there. Like, they're obviously not like, orca hybrids, shark hybrids. They're not like all of these
Obviously, yeah,
creatures, obviously. Like, there's actual real people behind them. But like,
yeah,
there's a lot of people out there who just like interacting with like the persona that's been created. And the reason being is
right.
because it can be entertaining. Like, you kind of get to know this thing that, well, although like, obviously it's just like it's a person behind it, you kind of just get to know this persona that is just kind of on the internet, and it's like wildly cool, and it's like tailor made for people to enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, Now, the cons to having a persona is at certain times it can be difficult to keep up for a lot of creators.
It can,
Like, people
and it
do
can be
struggle
very
with it because it's like, that
yeah,
persona is like also constantly in the limelight. So it's like people on the internet tend to forget that that persona does have a real live human being behind it. It's not like an AI like thing on the internet.
exactly
Like, people will just,
right.
yeah, because I mean, like, hell, like a lot of the times I know the VTubers, they get like a bit like NSFW kind of sector thing there.
Mhm.
And like, it's okay if they're like willing to have it happen, or like just they let it happen, and like, yeah. But there's also a lot of people who don't like it, and then people will go ahead and do it anyways. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's hard to keep that persona up when stuff like that keeps happening and it's just hurting the actual human behind it.
Yeah,
Um,
for instance, there was actually a drama that happened between VTubers where there's a male section of Hololive, um,
yes, I heard about this
and
actually.
there was there's a male section of Hololive as well, and a lot of people were shipping both the males and the female sides
And people were
of
not
all the
comfortable with
personas,
it.
and they just weren't comfortable with it. And that's when you have to, as the community, you have to take a step back and realize that these are real people.
Yes,
And
like it's no different than doing it
something
to the people you can see, like the faces of the actual content creators. Like it may
exactly
seem
right.
different to you, but like, while you're looking at pixels, it's no different than looking at the actual person behind the camera because there is, at the end of the
Exactly.
day, the expressions on the VTuber and all that are coming from a real person's face. That is some human being behind them.
Hmm. And now that, and I think this also happens a lot with people who like don't have a who don't have a quote unquote persona, right? So
Yeah.
people like Jacksepticeye, right? People know him as the man who screams, yells at video
Top of
games,
the
and
morning
he's
to,
just a
yeah, like
big
that.
top of the morning to you,
I
right?
can't do the accent.
Exactly,
I'm not
right?
going to.
I'm not gonna try either. Um, but at the end of the day, sometimes, right? He'll put out a video, and nowadays, I think he's more lending himself to like he's not forcing it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Now that he has established an established audience, he knows he can get real with them and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm not just this screaming man. I'm not just this man that screams at a camera for 2 hours every recording and gets it edited down to a video, right?"
Yeah. But like it's
Um,
stuff like that as
now,
well. But I mean, like even like the shipping thing, like in reference to Jacksepticeye, people do that with like Jack and Mark a lot. Jacksepticeye and
yeah,
Markiplier, I'd like to say. And I mean, like I've never seen either of them explicitly say they don't like it.
yeah, they
Um,
don't care.
they don't care, but like there's thousands of other cases where people have done it, and then creators have been like, "Please stop!" Like I don't we don't think of each other in that way, and it's very weird to see people think of us like that, and people just don't
Exactly.
stop. And I
Yeah,
mean,
like for an example, I think one good example of this is Iron Mouse and Connor Dog.
yes, that I have seen.
They often stream together, and they're very close in real life. Iron Mouse has, I can't remember she's never actually said the condition because she has a very rare condition where she basically can't go places, right? She can't go outside. If she were to announce her condition, you would be able, it is so rare, you would be able to find her
Yep,
because there are only a few cases of them in the world, right?
yep,
And Connor has helped with her and her family a lot with it,
yeah.
right?
And people are weird
Um,
enough to try and ship him because of it.
yeah, yeah, it's
Like
true. And
it's a whole
sure,
thing.
there's a point that like yeah, they feed into it, right? They sometimes they
But
do,
that's
right?
willing is the thing. Like that's them being
Exactly.
willing to do it. It's the difference between like a good way to put this for a lot of the people who may not understand it, like a good way to put it in terms for them is it's like it's the consensual side of it. Like they're consenting to actually like jokingly ship themselves versus people
Mhm.
legitimately doing it daily on the internet and like just like
Exactly.
wholeheartedly be like, oh, they should, and it's like no, they do
Ju-
their own thing. And half the
Just
time
make
when people
sure.
do it, like
Go ahead.
they're doing it for the content. If they're like doing
Yeah.
joking ships,
Just make sure when you have a community like that, make sure you set boundaries. Boundaries are so important.
absolutely. And like that's not to say that people will always respect those boundaries. There are people that test it, but like
Right.
majority of the people on the internet that are decent people will generally respect your boundaries, especially if they want to stay in your community.
Hmm.
And yeah, I guess jump into the side of like not having a niche as well. Pros and cons for that. Not having a niche is like there's kind of less to worry about with a persona. So like for example, if you're like a full-time like streamer and you're not a VTuber, like not someone who has a persona, pro is like you don't have to worry about like keeping anything like that up. You can like just kind of be yourself and just leave it at that. And it's like,
Yeah, I was about to say
that's kind of half of what I do. So
I have a yeah.
like
I was
you
about to
just
say
kind of vibe yourself.
I also have a lot of experience in this. Like I used to stream with a webcam all the time, right?
Yeah,
and show my face on the internet,
the
and
famous
it was just
Rockefeller
me.
clip.
Oh God, no, I think the thing is that isn't even the famous clip. The famous clip is me falling out of my chair while we were playing GTA 5.
Oh no, I know
All
that
right.
one. I just say the famous Rockefeller clip just because I have it on my desktop still.
Yeah. I
It's
remember,
so
to
good.
forgive you context, me and Lucy one time were playing GTA. I was leaning back in my chair, and all of a sudden, whoop, there goes me falling down.
Yep.
And I believe I can't, man, I don't remember his name. It's Sun something. What is his name?
Ooh.
He's you know who I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh God, what's his name?
Yeah. Suncursed. Suncursed. I think he changed his name recently, but that he posted that clip on, think, like a fails uh
And it blew up.
fails that it out of nowhere. I look back at the clip and it has, 300, 400 views on
Yep.
my clips, my most popular clip being a Rocket League clip that has 50, where
Yep.
my friend my friend threw a goal on accident because he was itching his balls.
Oh no.
That is an amazing clip.
Oh yeah. But like yeah, no, it's like that's like another like really cool thing about it. And it's like, you can just kind of be your authentic self. The cons are like, there's not really like a persona that like can really like get a bunch of those like people who enjoy the personas behind, but
Mhm.
again, both of them have their pluses and like their ups and downs. And I mean everyone's different when it comes to it. Like, there's no right or wrong if like you want to be like if you want to have a persona, that's not a correct or it's not a correct or incorrect answer. If you don't want to have a persona, not a correct or incorrect answer. And if you want to do a middle ground, like what I do, like again, not an incorrect or correct answer. People enjoy what they do.
Mhm.
Like I find middle ground being the easiest because I get to be my authentic self on stream, but I can also occasionally like, pull the whole devil persona and just be like, and like go into that. Like I
Mhm.
can pull it
Yeah,
whenever I want, and I get to just be whatever I want given that on day or on that given day.
yeah. Do we want to start? We want to just kind of wrap this up, kind of give
Yeah,
the
let's
message. I
wrap it
think
up.
we're actually good.
We're just about on time, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
to kind of sum this all up, just make sure whatever you decide to do, make sure it is you, right? Make
mi-
sure it is what you want your uh internet personality to be, right?
yes, and even if it's not something that like, even if it's like a complete persona that's not even remotely connected to who you are. Again,
Mhm.
like it's just be who you want to be on the internet. Like do
Mhm.
what you want to do and just have fun with it. Like again, the whole point of
Exactly.
content creation is literally just so you can have fun. It's like have fun, make the type of stuff that you've always wanted to see, and just bring like all around entertainment. Like a good
Mhm.
example of this, as far as I'm aware, they're not involved or he's not involved in any drama, but Finster is a good example of it as well. Like
Mhm.
straight like a straight guy as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm aware, I think he's just a straight dude, like a
Mhm.
straight cis dude, I should say. But like he plays like the role of like femboy on the internet, and like a
Mhm.
lot of people love it. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like it's entertaining content. Like he does a great job with it, but like at the end of the day, it's also pretty easy to tell that like he's not like that's not actually who he is IRL.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can kind
And
of
I think
tell.
a good example of someone that shows like more of their IRL self is Moist Critical.
Yeah,
Charlie.
exactly. Or I mean that, but
Charlie
also
does
like
not give a single fuck. Okay,
yeah,
this man still records with. He has, and I love him for this. He has the goddamn uh what is it? AT2020, the USB, just like I do, and he streams with one AirPod in as
yep,
he talks about drama of the day, or he plays Rocket League, plays some of the esport, plays with watches his esport team, which I really love Moist Esports. Like they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite team in like
but it's great
RLCS
because
and
it's
stuff
just
like
like it's
that. But
part of who
what
they
he has
are.
done, yeah, what he has done with that community and how far it's spread, it's actually amazing.
Yeah, no, it's great because it's just again, it's just like it's who you want to be on the end of the day. Like
Mhm.
it's just the great thing about it, and it's like, you know, even if you have this full internet personality, like a VTuber for example, or something like that. Like again, at the end of the day as well, like you can be still whatever you want to be, even if you have that. Like a good example again, another creator. We mentioned her earlier, Shy Lily. Like I again, like
Mhm.
I don't know a whole lot about her, but like I've seen her tweets occasionally, and it's like things where like, you know, I'll see her like she shows like her actual face like conventions and stuff. People know who she is, and so it's like she's
Mhm.
got like the whole like VTuber persona, but also people know like who she is IRL as well. So it's
Mhm.
like it's that whole thing of just like people genuinely get to know like these creators, and it's amazing. So it's just
Mhm.
be who you want to be at the end of the day. Like, you know, if you want to like if you want to have your IRL like persona, face, and everything, like you want to have people know that, do it. If you don't, that's
Go
totally
for it.
fine too. Like there's people who don't want to do that and don't ever show their face. That's also totally fine. Like just
Yeah,
overall,
and
you know, make sure you're having a good time. Like realize that the internet is not always like the best place, you know, be prepared for that. But at the end of the day, just enjoy it all. Like, you know, it's we're all here for the ride. We're all doing this because we enjoy some aspect of it, and we're all here because it's a fun job.
yeah, exactly. If you want to just literally sit on stream and you think that you and your friends, this is the reason why I started streaming. If you think that you and your friends fucking around in whatever game, like goddamn, like for an example, me playing Siege with my friend Joe
Or us playing
and
GTA.
Lucas and stuff like that, right? It's just fun. It's just fun to us, and sometimes, hey, we hit a couple jokes that are pretty funny.
Exactly.
If that's what you want to do, do it.
Like, yeah, like you also don't have to take it
That's all it
seriously
is.
at all.
Do it.
Like a lot of this like advice is for people who want to take it seriously. But like
Hmm.
also you don't have to. Like if you just want to fuck around and build a small community, do it. Like it's the
Do
most
it.
fun thing you could do if you want to be a content creator. And like
hundred
again,
percent.
this is always my one piece of advice that I've given to anybody who's ever asked me for advice. And it's
Mm.
always just start. Stop
Yeah,
making the
that's the
excuses.
first step.
And I like again, like and I know this is gonna sound like so many like greeting card type shit. Just don't make excuses. Just start. I don't care if you just have a mobile phone. I don't care if you like if you have an older generation Xbox or an older generation PS4. I don't care if you have the shittiest PC known to man. Go for it. Because I'll tell you this:
There is an
that channel I mentioned earlier in 2012, I was running my shit off of a potato. And when I say a
Mhm.
potato, I mean the PC that I was using was built in 2003. It was 9 years old, and I was running
Yep.
Minecraft at
I think it's
maybe a crisp 15 frames, and I made content off of that.
mm,
And I made content off of that. If I can do it on that, you can do it on whatever the hell you have access to today. Go for it.
yeah, my first video on my YouTube channel. I haven't posted much there in years.
Yeah,
I do want to eventually,
yeah,
but I'm kind of re at the moment. I'm kind of reestablishing myself, trying to get more consistent at things. But
yeah.
my first video on that channel, you can't find it anymore because it's privated. It's literally me doing a cut commentary over my Geometry Dash playthrough of me
Yep.
playing the first level
Yep. And I'll tell you this right
using
now,
little
like,
character tool.
yeah, and I'll tell you this right now, like, half the shit that I used to put out was horrible. And, like, you know what? I still
Yep,
cultivated a small community out of it.
indeed.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, just go for it. Do what you want to do,
Yeah,
have the fun you want to have. And if you decide it's not for you, no harm, no foul. Go for it. Just
exactly.
figure it out. All right. But yeah,
And
as always,
I think
what
that'll wrap us up.
yeah, I think that will wrap us up. As always, you know, whatever your platform you listen to this on, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, follow it, share it out, like it, you know, upvote it. Whatever the hell the buttons are on that site, I gotta look at the
Yeah,
sites and
who
get that
knows?
figured out. But whatever the buttons are, you know, like just hit them. It helps our analytics. It helps us get further out there, and we want to reach more like small creators. We want to reach more people in general, like the people who might
Mhm.
just need like, you know, a little extra pick me up, or who people who just want to listen to our stupid ass stories of us fucking around and being idiots. Like
Exactly.
again, go back 4 episodes. You could listen to us like drowning in a water park. All right, like, you know, just if you want to listen
Yep.
more about our lives, you would like we got that for you. If you want more advice about being a creator from just two guys who've been doing it for like almost 5 years, like we got that for you as well. Just like, you know,
Mhm.
come along with us for the ride. Hit the buttons, share us out to your friends, do whatever you like there. Either way, this is the LoofCast signing off on our 36th episode. and I believe our first episode is a rebranded podcast.
No, last one was.
Last one was. Second episode is a rebranded podcast. Anyways, anyways,
we're professional here.
We're so professional. That's the upside about this podcast. It's 100% authentic, genuine. We are not here to, stage some shit, because you can tell we never have anything scripted or planned. But either way, at the end of the, I'll tell you this right now, real quick before we end. Just a small thing, right between, between you, three of us, us and the watcher, or the listener. Oof literally asked me what the topic was today when he was streaming about 3 hours ago, and I literally just had to type in his chat, and I said, "Please hold," because I had forgotten what we were doing today.
Yep,
and then we didn't even do the topic we had planned today. So
yeah, the most that we do is we have an ideas page in our notes. That's it.
That's it. We have a shared notes app. That's the most planning we do for this podcast, besides editing and trying to figure out how to get out there further. But either way, hit the buttons. As always, if you're interested in what other platforms we are on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and the device behind me that I currently can't say, the Amazon device, that I can't say because it will kill me if I say its name.
Also, I don't think we said this in the last couple episodes. Make sure you if you also like the content, us as personalities, check out our Twitch channels.
Yeah, we are our own individual creators as well as part of the LoofCast here. I am LuciKOH on Twitch and YouTube. This is Oof on Twitch and YouTube. It is spelled with a 0. Don't mistake that.
It's whatever. You won't find it if you don't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And definitely check out his YouTube channel. We have some things coming.
We do.
I'm his editor. So.
He is my editor. I'm also the editor as well. We're both editing videos for my channel currently. Nothing's been uploaded just yet. I'm putting out a channel trailer first, and then I will be getting it done with a bunch of new videos. But I got a lot of new stuff coming soon. And if you're interested in a bunch of charity stuff, stay tuned for this December. There we go. December, month of giving. I have something really special planned that I hope is going to go off without an issue. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
As always, hope you guys enjoyed. Hit all the buttons. Don't forget to share us out to your friends. Check us out individually. And also, follow the Hell's Newsletter social medias. We got a Twitter and a TikTok. TikTok doesn't have anything at the moment, but Hell's Newsletter, did I just say that? Okay.
It's the LoofCast, goddammit.
I'm sorry. We rebranded 4 days ago. The LoofCast social medias. We don't have a rebranded Twitter yet, and I need to make a new TikTok because the Hell's Newsletter TikTok actually got banned for being underage for some reason. I'm not kidding. I tried to log into it. I tried to log into it 2 days ago, and it said you've currently been restricted for being underage. Please appeal this if you think this is a mistake. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna make a new account. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you all in the next one. September 15th.
Yes.
Yeah. This has been the longest outro ever. I think we just spent 10 minutes doing an outro. Either way.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, hit the buttons, do the things. Have a good one, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your days. Peace out, y'all.
See ya.